The January 6th committee is now winding down its investigation into the attack on the U.S. Capitol. The panel is expected to release a lengthy report of its findings by Christmas.
Now, the report is expected to focus on former President Trump and his involvement in inciting the riot, as well as ways to avoid a similar situation in the future. Here's what panel member Congressman Jamie Raskin told our Robert Costa.
People are hungering for justice. And for accountability and consequences here. Injustice runs free for a long time before the mechanisms of justice and the rule of law can operate. That's what it means to live in a free society. We don't just sweep people off of the street, even a tyrant like Donald Trump, and just declare them guilty and throw them in solitary confinement.
So with us now is CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. All right, Scott, I hear the clock ticking on the end of this session of Congress, the beginning of a new one, and who knows what that means if the report doesn't come out before that. So what's the timeline for the release of this report?
By Anne-Marie and Errol, this committee, this House Select January 6 panel, has been a little less than firm with hitting its deadlines throughout its year and a half in operations. But the next deadline is firm. They have to issue this report by January 2nd. The committee expires that day. It has to wrap up its work. So there's a deadline, but how close they get to it is anybody's guess right now. They were still in the process of developing, writing, and finalizing this report as of late last week. They say it has to go to the printers, has to be disseminated. So we expect to get it in the next few weeks because we have to get it in the next few weeks. That being said, there's something else. We've been drilling down into this in our reporting. It's not just the 8-chapter voluminous final report that could be released. They're considering releasing all the transcripts of all their depositions, hundreds of depositions with key players in the Trump inner circle. If that comes out, that may be as illustrative as anything. What's more, the Department of Justice has been very clear they'd like all those transcripts. They've been lobbying for the committee to send them over to the Department of Justice for months now. If the committee releases those widely, well, then everybody has them.
So, Scott, that makes me wonder then, because the big question hanging over the final report is, will they make criminal referrals to the Department of Justice? It sounds like what you're saying is if they prove all of their homework anyway, the transcripts, the testimony, and any other evidence they've obtained, that may be a moot point if the DOJ finds within those details a crime was committed.
Absolutely. That's spot on, Errol. What's more, a criminal referral may be redundant and a moot point in the first place. The Department of Justice is not unfamiliar with the January 6th committee's work so far. They're watching the hearings. They'll read the report. And then again, if the transcripts are released, they'll read those too. What the committee would do would be more of a messaging operation to send criminal referrals, kind of a valedictory to all the work they've done, the investigating they've done, the unparalleled investigating they've done, these 16 months of exhaustive interviews, depositions, public hearings. We really haven't seen anything like this out of a congressional committee, at least not in modern times. The Department of Justice would, of course, hear what the committee has to say, but it's the Department of Justice's decision, and theirs alone, whether to file charges, with the caveat some of this very likely is under the umbrella of this newly appointed special counsel, Jack Smith.
So we know that the Republican Party has been very critical of this panel. There are 2 Republicans on there, but there are Republicans who have been critical of the former president, Donald Trump. So yesterday, Democratic Congressman Pete Aguilar was on Face the Nation. Margaret Brennan asked him if Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy and Jim Jordan should face any consequences for refusing to meet with the panel. And here's what he said.
And what we wanted to lay out to the American public is that those individuals, Jim Jordan and Kevin McCarthy, are fact witnesses to the events that happened. They talked to the president multiple times on that day. There's information that they can share. There's information that they shared on national TV and to their own colleagues in that moment. The fact that they don't want to share it to us so we can put together a fulsome report just shows that they aren't unbiased. And so that's why there's a little smirk when you ask me about Kevin McCarthy and January 6th, because he's someone who hasn't been completely honest about what he knows and what happened that day.
Well, we know there's reporting that he almost got into a fight with the former president on the phone during that riot. McCarthy, I'm talking about. He's likely to become the next Speaker of the House. So then what happens when he takes over?
Now, according to my latest reporting, not only would a Republican-controlled U.S. House that takes over January 3rd shut down the January 6th committee, it's gone. Republicans will not keep it. But the Committee on House Administration, which oversees operations of Capitol Hill, their new head Republican tells me they're likely to investigate the operations of the January 6th committee, to investigate some of how the committee conducted itself and conducted its business, almost like an investigation into the investigators. Kevin McCarthy-led Republican House will also continue to investigate the security failures that may have contributed to thousands of rioters, marauders, and trespassers getting onto restricted Capitol grounds. But the battling between Republicans and Democrats over this January 6th committee has become nearly toxic. It is vitriolic. When this Congress ends, the committee ends, but no doubt the arguments from both parties over how each conducted itself, it's not going to end.
Right. I mean, this month, the committee will have its last shot at saying whatever it needs to before everything changes. So we'll all be watching closely. Scott, thank you very much.